Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to our today's live session of Prepare to Pass Your Strategic Business Leader exam in September. I am Sayali and I work in the ACCA UK team. Now, everybody that is joining us, please to join us via the comments section as well. Please tell us where you're from, how are you doing with your exam preparations, and how are you feeling? If you have any questions for us today about the Strategic Business Leader exam preparations, please do put that in the comments section as well. We'll hopefully be able to answer your questions as we go along in this section. And I'm delighted to have with me today our expert tutor, Irina from Kaplan. Hi, Irina.
Hi. Quick introduction. I've been with Kaplan for over 17 years, believe it or not. And I really like teaching strategy and management. So I often pick up students when they start at the very beginning, thinking about F1, accounting and business. And I also see them at the very end. SBL, you're almost at the end of your qualification. So I help you with that final bit.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Irina. And it's lovely to have you here. And we are delighted to have you here with us. And Irina, as you all heard, is going to help us with some tips to help you pass your Strategic Business Leader exam. Now, the session today, as I said, is focused on the SBL exam. So without any further ado, let's get started. Rina has joined us from UK. A big hello to Rina.
Where are you coming from, guys? So I could see that
Yes,
Irina is from
keep
Leicester.
that, keep that active, guys. Yes. So, Irina, let's think about the SBL exam coming up. And there are still about 10 days to go till the start of the exam week. And I think these final days make the difference. And it's this period where so many of our students put in that hard work and that effort, which helps them pass the exam. So I'm going to come to you and ask you for your advice. How do you advise students? What should they do to keep that focus on and make the best use of time between now and the exam day?
So, the first thing we want to do is to create a study plan because there is still time between today and that Tuesday, the 5th of September, effectively almost 2 weeks. But what you need to focus on is what you need to do today and tomorrow. Small, manageable steps. There is still time. You have plenty of things to keep you engaged with the paper. There are 2 practice papers, PSS about mattresses and Yex Marine about boats. There is also an additional mock on VTM, a company that makes electric cars. And of course, you can find all of them on CB platform, which is the best way to practice. When you practice, make sure you have a clear idea in mind what it is that you want to get out. I've seen some comments in the chat panel saying, oh, I'm struggling with change management. Trust me, in one of those papers, there is a question on change management. There will definitely be questions on strategy that will help you with the topics. And that brings me to the second point. With small, manageable victories, you will feel on track with your studies. So after every study session, think about what you've learned. It could be a new business insight, you understood the industry better, or you've grasped a particularly difficult knowledge area better. So step by step, you're getting closer to that path. And finally, it's also about your mindset, thinking, reflection, being positive. You only need 50% to pass, and with good analysis of pre-seen and tackling unseen with the right technique, you are going to be able to do it. Remember your career aspirations. You're at the end of your CCA journey. Picture yourself in that dream job. Smile. You're almost there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Irina. And while you are speaking, I see lots of students joining us. There's Dina. Hi, Dina. Paul's joined us. Paul's one of our regional heads from ACCA. So hi, Paul. Sai Prasad from India. There you are from India. Hello there. Serish. We also have Kaplan join us. Irina is from Kaplan. Irina is an expert tutor from Kaplan, and Kaplan guys are also behind the scenes. So everybody who's joining us, make sure you get your questions in. There's lots of experts here on the call today to help you with your questions. So make sure you do that. A very quick point I'm going to make on the test that you said, Irina, the practice platform, and the importance of that practice during this crucial 2 week period before exam. So definitely go into the ACCA practice platform. There's specimen exams there. There's blank workspaces on there. There's past exams. There's practice tests. There's also a mock exam there, and what you'll find on the ACCA YouTube channel is the mock debrief. There's a full debrief videos that are on the ACCA YouTube channel where you have joined us live, or you might be somewhere else, but that's on the YouTube channel. So please do go and have a look at that. I'm now going to move on to something which is new for SBL now, Irina. The pre-scene information is out now, and this is the first time a pre-scene has been issued in advance of exam day, and it's going to benefit our students. So, what are the 3 bits of advice that you're going to tell them to do before their exam, and how should they use the pre-scene information?
Excellent, excellent. That's exactly the kind of questions that I could see popping up in a comments box, guys. So keep those questions coming. So when it comes to pre-scene, try to understand the industry. I hope most of you have clicked on that link that was sent to you yesterday by CCA and have downloaded and read the pre-scene. Have we all done that? Because that pre-scene provides you with a lot of information to grasp the industry, low-cost airlines. Yeah? It helps you to understand the challenges and developments that our airline is up against, and helps you to understand the impact of those trends. So what do you do when you read this pre-scene? Have a look at this and think about what makes our organization unique. Correct. What an interesting name. I really love that. We need to think about what helps Correct stand out from competitors. It is a low-cost airline. So what do customers value about the company? For example, not just the low prices, but maybe a large network of routes that allows our customers to access any destination they're interested in. Think about what are the features that are of value to the customer. Clearly, low prices and being on time should be on value, but we also need to understand whether the organization is fully deriving that value. So when you look at performance, for example, not just look at the financials as in revenue, profitability, or return on capital employed, also think about non-financial information. What is happening with the punctuality? What's happening with customer satisfaction? And what impact it may have on the performance of Corrects in the future. Finally, there is so much information that precedes, it's hard to keep it all in your head. So the best way to summarize it is to prepare a SWOT analysis. So we know from our studies that SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And in order to do SWOT, make sure that when you read that pre-scene, you go, okay, this is what the organization is doing. Is it doing it well or badly? That becomes a strength or weakness. When you look at what's happening in the environment, and there is a lot of discussion in the pre-scene about economic growth, about impact of environmental trends on the industry as a whole, think about what that means for Correct specifically. So that will help you to have a good grasp of the possible avenues for development of the case that could be used in the exam. It also makes it easy for you to remember the key facts.
Absolutely. Thank you, Irina. Thank you very much. Really good piece of advice there. And SWOT analysis, I really use SWOT analysis in everything I do as well. It's such an easy way to remember, and almost like a mind map. It will help you to know all of that when you're in exams. So really good piece of advice there. We've got some more students joining us. We've got Denise. Denise is from Zambia. Hi there. We've got Susanna. We've got Ahmed. Guys, everybody, this is being recorded, so you can access this later on. So don't worry if you miss out on a few words or something. This is recorded for you to have a look at later on as well. There's an interesting question from Ahmed there, Irina, around the pre-scene. So I'm going to pick that one up. And he says, should we put in more time into practicing or for the pre-scene?
So reading the pre-scene is essential because it helps you to understand the industry you need to immerse yourself in. But in order to be able to think about how the questions could be phrased or how you should approach planning and answering. That's what past exam papers are all about, specimen papers. There is a lot of similarity in the structure of the pre-scene and those specimen papers. Practice makes you perfect. By looking at past papers, you're better equipped for the future.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Irina. And I'm now going to move on to that final day or that final night before the examination. And after all of that hard work that students have done, what would you advise them? What would you advise them to make sure that they are absolutely ready to sit their exam and demonstrate their knowledge and ability on the day?
I do understand that the night before exam could be nerve-wracking, but let's make sure that we are calm and composed. Important things to do is to reread the pre-scene the night before. And you might think you know the organization backwards, but there are always new insights. There is always something you realize you haven't fully understood until you read it for that final time. Refresh your grasp of the key organization features, refresh your grasp of financials so you're ready to talk about them if that topic becomes relevant in the exam. Also, to be calm, you need to trust yourself. You have what it takes to succeed. We know that for the exam like SBL, cramming the night before is not likely to work, but you have worked hard, you know corrects, you refined your exam technique by practicing using the SBE platform, therefore you can do it. Finally, it is important to have a good night's sleep and a solid breakfast. You want to feel refreshed, you want to feel full of energy on the day of the exam, and a wholesome breakfast is a great start to the day and shows you can do your best. My daughter is now thinking about her GCSE exams. She's very keen of porridge in the morning. I know porridge is not everybody's kind of thing, but you could give it a try to see whether that could keep you full and keep you going for the whole of 195 minutes of the exam.
Absolutely, Irina. Very, very good. And I do agree. I love porridge as well. So it's a good breakfast to have before you go on that big day, isn't it? And a good night's sleep. So not trying to cram in a lot and just revising what you've done. Have a reread of the pre-scene. And there are many things when we are practicing or revising, we miss out, and suddenly you'll find it and you'll be like, oh, okay, this is something good and good to keep with me during the exam day. So that's really good. Very good. Thank you very much, Irina. We've seen a load of questions come in, so hopefully we've been able to answer you all. There's one that's come in on the exhibits, and each exhibit, is it restricted to one response only now, Irina?
No, so you will see all 4 exhibits at once, and any of the tasks, and you're expected to see 3 tasks in the exam, could use information from any of the exhibits. So it's important to understand the whole of the new information in the exam before you compose your answer.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys. And this is all recorded for everybody to watch later on, and we can see your comments coming in really nicely here. There's a last question I'm going to pick up from Sadi, and this is more of an exam-based question. What are we allowed to bring in? Paper, pen, calculator? This is for the remote exams, Irina?
For the remote exams, I believe it's just between you and the computer. We need to make sure that you are focused on what you need to do. So for remote exams, it's just you and the screen. But do remember, within CBE platform, you will have pre-scene available to you in the digital format. You will also be able to jot down your ideas in a scratchpad or in a word processor. So actually, you don't need that piece of paper by your side, really. If you practice, you're going to be good. Your exam technique will allow you to do without that piece of paper.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Irina. That's really very good advice for our students sitting the SBL exam in September. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Hope you found it useful. Irina and Kaplan, thank you very much for supporting us on this session. It's lovely to have you here with us. Thank
Thank
you
you. It
very
was a
much.
pleasure.
Good
Thank
luck,
you.
everybody.